Hey everybody, it's Jack with another comic haul video. Don't have any brew today. Saving my brews for the Bears game tonight, so no brew today. But got some good comics, and then also got some comics that I'm going to be wrapping up and giving to my nephew. So Yar, if you're watching, stop watching. Unless if you want to know what you're getting for Christmas. So, got some presents for him, and then uh, also it's just my own comics for the last 2 weeks. So, first, my nephew Ray, aka Yar, is 8 years old, I believe, second grade. So I went to my comic shop. He told me that he watched a couple of my videos or something and said that he'd be interested in comics. So I went over to my comic shop and asked the guy what would I get, what would be good for an 8-year-old, just as intro into comics. And he suggested How Toons. Said he got it for his 8-year-old, and I thought that was interesting. So How Toons Make Anything was put out by Image. I don't know how long ago this was put out. I'm sure I could look, but I looked through it and it was just super fun. It follows the story of these two kids, and they go around and they find like different dilemmas around the house and like their own little adventures, and then they craft things in their adventures, and then it tells you how to make those things at home for the kids that are reading. So like let's see here. This one that was they are like making music or something around the house and just being crazy. Obviously the art's very simple, but really really fun. So they're like making music, and then it shows them how to make a flute out of a baster. So it says materials: get a baster, rubber bands, cup of water, and then it shows them how to make like a flute. So anyway, just thought this was really fun. Be a really good way for a kid who's wanting to get into comics. I thought it would just be a really interesting thing for him. So I got this. If you have any kids or nephews that want to get that too, that are creative, it looked really fun. And then I also got him the new first issue of the new Sonic Boom. I read this last night before I went to bed, and it's just cool to see Knuckles and Tails and Dr. Eggman and like, you know, all those old characters from all the old video games. Yeah, it was just fun. And then like the advertisements are for Mega Man. I don't know, it just brought me back to feel like I was playing on my Sega Genesis again. So got him the first issue. The second issue came out this week. I didn't get that, but I figured that that'd be incentive. If he likes this, he can go and pick up the second one, get him in the comic book shop. So yeah, those are for my nephew Ray. And then we'll get into my comics. Here are Green Arrow number 37, which you're now seeing the story a little bit more. You're seeing that Oliver Queen and his group now are against this guy, the King. Was that what it was called? Who kind of runs the city. Some type of boss who just is in charge of everybody. He's got 1,000 people on his that work for the city in different ways or in business that he does. So it's kind of classic Green Arrow. Felt a lot like the TV show, where it's just kind of like dealing with mob bosses in the city. So it was definitely nothing unique, I didn't think. We'll see how it goes. It just kind of now in this issue put this forward that this is actually who the villain is and what's going to be happening. But it just didn't really feel like it was anything unique. So I think I'm going to give it one more. I said that I was going to try to keep a hold of this for a while, but I think I'm going to give it one more. Like, I mean, I've seen, you know, how many mob reads or whatever. I don't know. So we'll see. I'll give it one more issue, and hopefully there's something unique in there's some type of twist. But Tooth and Claw number 2, and also now that they've had to rename it, the Autumn Lands Tooth and Claw. Anyway, kind of messed up on their part that Tooth and Claw was already copyrighted by something, but really cool cover art. And then the back cover again was really cool also. Sorry, I'm trying to find the. I'm using the FaceTime camera now instead of my normal camera, so it's a little bit different. But anyway, I just really enjoyed this. You found out who the champion was, and spoiler alert, the champion is exactly who you thought it was. The champion for the magical magic animal people was a human, and so now you have the human, and he just went on a rampage, killing off their like Native American bison, their inferior beings that the magical people are kind of held in indentured servitude. So once their magic went away, they just unleashed, and then the human unleashed on them. But yeah, this was fun. Not as big as the first issue. The first issue was like 50 pages and $2.99. But this was still definitely worth $2.99. Really enjoying the artwork, and thought the dialogue was really good. It wasn't as wordy, I felt, as the first issue was, but I really enjoyed this. So hope the story keeps going well. Arkham Manor #2. I really do enjoy this story, that Bruce Wayne is, or how is it now? I'm trying to remember. There's so many different things. That he's gone undercover in Arkham, and is trying to figure out who's killing people in Arkham Manor. Yeah, so I just a fun story. I'm really enjoying this one. Nothing super duper awesome about it, but definitely enjoyable. One that I was really bummed about was Rasputin #2. I really enjoyed the cover art. Thought this was, I just thought this was a really cool cover. But it leaves you in the same place as the first issue did. It's setting up a lot of backstory of who he's, which I guess is important in a book like this, where there's a historical person, but you're not going off the history of him. You're kind of making your own interpretation about a guy. So the story kind of leaves you at the same exact place as it did before. You don't know what the story is yet. You don't know what his role is. And for me, in the first couple of issues, it's very important to kind of define what the story is going to be. And he just hasn't done that. I don't think the dialogue's very good. Also, I understand that it's not meant to be heavy on the dialogue, but even it's definitely art focused, but it really didn't grab out to me in the dialogue. Like, it was just like very simple and almost like obvious in the dialogue that it was giving. But the artwork was still really cool. Really enjoyed this this fold here. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was really standing out to me. The fight scene. Yeah, so I'm going to give this one more issue and hope that it picks up into actually giving me a story. Like, what is Rasputin doing? I'm sure that it'll do that in the third issue, but I really wish it would have done it sooner. But again, one that I'm really enjoying, but I hope that I'm not enjoying it enough if you're not going to give me a good story. I'm interested in the title, but give me a story. Deathstroke #2. Another one that was not as good as the first issue, but it did go into the story of who Deathstroke is fighting against, and you're kind of learning more and more about what's going on. So it wasn't as good as the first one. I thought the first issue's art was fantastic. The art was still good in this, but it wasn't nearly at the level of the first issue. But this is definitely one that I'll keep picking up and see where the story goes. I really enjoy Deathstroke as a hero, even though not whatever anti-hero. So yeah, so there's that one, and then the names. What number are we on the names? Names #4 of 9. Haven't read this one yet, but this is one that I am really enjoying, and I'm sure that it'll continue to be well done and well written. And the art's really cool too. The cover art, I don't know if it's the same artist as. It must be the same artist. but really cool. I don't know, I'm not an artist, but is that watercolor that they're doing this with? Um, I'm sure not. I don't know who does watercolor anymore, but it's kind of like got watercolor texture to it. Um, just really enjoying that book. So those are my books for the last couple of weeks. Also, just on a personal note, I am going to be moving. Me and my wife, I got a new job in Milwaukee, so I'll be closer to my family back in the Midwest. So I'll have lots more brew, being that it's the beer capital of the U.S. So looking forward to that part of it, but then that probably means that I'll be a little bit crazy, so if I don't respond on comments or messages as much as I have been, forgive me, because it's just going to be a crazy couple of weeks. We're going on our honeymoon next week, down in the Dominican. So we've just got a really busy December in front of us. So I'll try to still pick up books. Obviously, I won't pick them up in the Dominican next week, but when I get back, I'll head to the shop and start grabbing books. But again, forgive me if I don't comment as much as I usually do. Just be a busy month. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope all is well. We'll see you later.